took me about 3 years to do this album, and on this occasion, I was just like, I was all ready to ruffle a few feathers and do something, you know, dangerous.
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, if you.
My aim is on the game.
The change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, if.
The funk is in the flaw.
If what you said if I was
Rock and soul.
still be with you.
I couldn't be stopped anyway.
And although that's crazy,
This is my business.
still wish you the best.
Lay it down.
CeeLo Green,
T.
you are on the record with Fuse. And let's start by talking about your #1 smash, one of the funniest and best records of the year. What's it called?
It's called F You.
And I love that. It's so profane and yet hilarious, but it's not an angry record.
It's what the English call tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think ultimately the song is about acceptance, you know, and smiling in the face of that adversity. You know, it's kind of like written in terms of like thinking out loud, you know.
And you're primarily saying it to the guy.
Right.
You stole my girl, and you know what? You
Right.
too, girl too.
Exactly.
But it's primarily man to man. You took my girl. You got more money than me.
That's right.
Talk about creating the song and finding that balance that made it funny and getting the character mad, but not the record mad.
Right. I was in LA. I was working with Bruno Mars and Phil Lawrence. They go by the collective name of the Smeezingtons, and I met them before the success of B.O.B. and, you know, Travie McCoy and all of that.
So you were with Bruno, working with Bruno before he was
I
hot.
was. They had kind of like a sketch of what the hook would be, but of course, you know, you was written in stone. So, you know, I think it went from I see you kicking it with the girl I know, and so the lyrics changed like that. We ended up with I see you driving around town. We sat there, we just kind of wrote the song out loud.
I know some people were like, oh, all this cursing and profanity and this is wrong. And I was like, it's in fun.
Yeah, it is. I have been very careful to be considerate of things that I say. I mean, of course, I have children of whom I love and respect, and even my kids understood it's all in fun.
The album is Lady Killer, but the first song is the man getting dissed.
Right.
Not being a lady killer.
Right.
In your real life, are you a lady killer or you wish you could be one?
No, I am. I am.
I really am.
Yes. I'm sincere. I'm so sincere. But Lady Killer is kind of symbolic of being a lover and a fighter, you know?
It's a soulful album. Sounds like something out of the 70s. Sounds a little Bobby Womack. Reminds me a little Sly Stone.
Great reference. I love Bobby Womack.
And you're singing here, not rapping.
No, not this time around. And quite a few of my fans are very concerned whether I'll rap again. And I assure them, yes, I will. And I'm just kind of, you know, setting that aside to make sure that all of those demons are exercised on the new Goodie Mob record.
So you're gonna rhyme on the next Goodie Mob album?
Yes.
When's that coming?
In the very, very near future.
And it's interesting because you are kind of in your own lane musically to me. You are a fusion of hip hop and soul in your own way.
Rock and soul. Rock and soul.
I mean, how do you do that? How do you put both of those together?
All music is derivative of the next. And the soul is just that honesty, that acknowledgement, that appreciation of what inspires you. And so, you know, when I open up my mouth to sing, I simply just can't help myself. It just is what it is.
What were you going for with The Lady Killer? What was the sonic goal to you?
My disclaimer was I want big black James Bond, you know. So I kind of felt like this album is something that Barry White would have done. It's streetwise and it's also sophisticated.
Just give me a little bit more of what big black James Bond means, because I like that.
It's just that melodramatic, that suspenseful, cinematic kind of quality.
And he's bad, he's smart, and he's sexual.
Yes.
How is the music that we're going to get on Lady Killer different than the music of Gnarls Barkley?
Gnarls Barkley, it's more cerebral, and there's a very disturbed quality about it. This one is more settled, more stable, more certain of oneself. people would associate Gnarls with costume. This one they would associate with character.
But let's talk about Crazy, because it completely transformed your career.
Yeah.
And it's a philosophical record of a sort that you almost never see in popular music.
Right.
What made you and Danger Mouse click so well?
Because misery needs company. You know,
So what does that mean? You're both unhappy people?
You know what? I was going through quite a time in my life. I was going through a divorce. I did not have a label home. It was just a very trying time. I was doing a remix to a song that he was working on with another project. And we concluded that session by him asking me, could he play me a few things? And I was like, of course. And they really struck me, and it just reminded me of that controlled chaos. So Crazy, to answer the question, forgive me, was a song about being insistent. Like, you know, are we crazy to keep insisting on doing it our way? Of course, there's a thin line between being crazy and being totally convinced, you know? And I think I'm the latter.
The music on the song is hot, but it's really the lyrics and the way you sing the hook, Crazy. That's the thing that makes it explode. Take me back to the night that you were creating Crazy.
Well, Crazy, of course, it's famously done in one take.
You didn't sing it straight through.
I did.
The chorus and everything straight through one time.
One time. We were just kind of trying to be productive. Like, he was on a schedule, so was I. I jotted the words down, and I went in and was like, you know, here goes nothing. And I sung it one time. He was like, yeah, that's cool, man. I was like, okay, cool. You know, what else you want to do? Let's do something else. So we went right to another song.
Did you know that it was going to be a massive hit, Song of the Year, Rolling Stones, Song of the Decade? Did you have any sense of like, yeah, we did something tonight?
We thought maybe at the most this was the most accessible record. The same thing with you. It's like, you know, you can't predict these things, you know, and it's something that happens to you. But I will say this, I am dedicated, I'm devoted, I'm sincere, my integrity is intact, you know, and so therefore, all these things considered, I do believe that I deserve it, you know. And so when it does happen, I feel very privileged, and I also feel poised, you know, something like for it, because, you know, people have to prepare for that kind of success the same way that they attempt to prepare for failure. Success will blow your mind just as easily.
That's right.
Even quicker.
That's right.
I remember us standing around the bed, and I held her hand, and she was freezing cold, and I just went into prayer.
But what did you do? What did you say? Or did you walk or did you run away? Where are you now? Where have you been? Did you go alone or did you bring a friend? Run away! Run away! Run, children! Run for your life!
There's something really special about your voice, and I get the sense that when I just hear your voice, a deep person is talking, even if you're saying something banal. Do you hear that?
I do. Both my mother and father were ordained ministers, and I do have a bit of that inherited quality, I would assume.
Are you a spiritual person?
I would say so. I never viewed in terms of good and bad. It always felt a bit more extreme, so I would see it as good and evil. I think both of these powers have offered me a bit of liberty to represent either side, and I picked a side, so each opportunity I get a chance to make it clear, you know, something like that, you know, I'm for good, you know.
Can we talk about your father, who passed when you were 2? Do you remember him at all?
No. My aunt just recently, she saw a picture of me in a suit, and she said, boy, you're your father, you know. But I've considered trying to go back and do some research and just learn a bit more about my father. I don't know an awful lot about him, though, you know.
But surely your life changed after he left. And you became, what, bad kid?
Yeah.
You called yourself a goon.
A goon.
Is that true?
It's true.
You were a kleptomaniac?
Yes.
What did you steal?
I used to steal, rob people at the bus stop, and take. Do you remember a time there was this big sensation about starter jackets and that kind of stuff? Yeah, that was me.
Taking people's starter jackets.
Yeah, I just was mean. I was just mean, and I enjoyed it, you know. And it was a power trip, and I was just bloodthirsty for it for a long while.
And you got sent to military school?
Yeah, I went to Riverside Military Academy in Gainesville, Georgia, and I did a year down there because I was kicked out of the entire Atlanta public school system. I couldn't go to school in Atlanta. Can you believe that, bro?
I cannot believe. I mean, is that person here now, in you now?
I think it may be about a 70-30 split.
Good, bad?
Yeah.
Where's your mom in all this, in you being a bad kid?
My mother was this very daring, entrepreneurial kind of woman. You know what I mean? Like she very seldom worked for anyone else. Like she created her own jobs. I remember once, getting locked up, and I told them, I said, "Yo, don't call my mom. She's, it doesn't, it's, So they called her anyway. She hung up on them. But I can respect that, though. I can respect it now. I took it as if she could care less, but she was definitely, letting me make my way in the world.
Now, when you were 16, she had a car accident and became quadriplegic.
Yes. Apparently, something caused her to swerve and ended up flipping, a few times over in the van. She had on the seatbelt, so she couldn't be thrown free. She probably maybe could have avoided being paralyzed if she could just have been thrown free, But so we got that news that day, and it's just it's the imaging coming to mind as we talk about it. It's just, it's heavy, it hurts.
2 years after the accident, your mom passes. What does that do to you? Because you're just having massive success with Goodie Mob, right? Is it true that you do a big show the day the album comes out, and after the show, somebody tells you that your mom passed?
Yeah, got home, and then that's when I got a call about 5-something that morning, and they were saying that she was on life support. And then they called back about 15 minutes and said she was gone. And I was like, wow. So I became a man right then, right there. And we drove out there and to her deathbed, and my family was there, and I had to deliver that news to my sister, and that was hard to do. And I remember us standing around the bed, and I held her hand, and she was freezing cold, and I just went into prayer. And I took on my mother's spirit, and I just really feel like I'm doing her work for me, because I don't know what I've done, to deserve anything, I don't deserve anything that I have. Like, it's my mother, and I'm carrying on in the way that she would have wanted me to. So, she, I believe, in essence, gave her life for me. And there's one instance prior to where my sister was sitting with her, and she asked to hear the Goodie Mob album. So I had like an advanced copy, and I think she was able to see what she had always said. My mother said that I would be special. So she did see what I had become and how I was putting some of that rearing, being in the church, how I put it to good use. And I think she knew that she could move on.
You move from there into Goodie Mob, and they're helping you grow further as a man to deal with these feelings. They're your new family.
Yeah.
And you did some incredible work with them and made some incredible albums with them, and then you left. It must have been a really heavy thing to decide, now I'm going to leave you guys.
I had always felt like, an individual in a collective effort. I knew something was out there for me, and then plus I wanted to sing, and I had a few other parts of my personality that I wanted to showcase.
So it was about you wanting to do more artistically. It was not a problem or disagreement with them?
Maybe at the time we had become a bit indifferent in terms of artistic direction. But as far as personally, no. Like, even us going our separate ways, it was truly meant to be a hiatus. So it wasn't meant to be permanent. That's why I come back, keeping my word on what was always meant to be the plan.
Because the next album after you leave is called One Monkey Don't Stop No Show, which seems to me to be like a message to you. Did you take it that way?
No, because That was a saying that Cujo said all the time. He adopted it from his grandma, and it is an old saying, you know. And so I didn't take it literal.
You knew Andre 3000 in high school.
Yeah.
I wonder why you didn't end up in Outkast.
Touch is gone, daddy gone, the love is gone. Yeah, it's gone, daddy gone, the love is gone. Gone, daddy gone, the love is gone away. You see, I do what they won't do and can't do, but gonna wish they did what I'm done. And with a smile on my face, give the trophy to second place right after I won. Shake his hand, firm like a man, but talk to him like a son. And this way, I can still be a little something to everyone.
Where did the name CeeLo and CeeLo Green come from?
CeeLo is an abbreviation of my actual name. My name is Carlo, so very simply. But CeeLo Green, Sleepy Brown gave me that name. That was the joke, like, but you sound like your dad is Al Green. That's kind of where it came from. So it was a compliment.
Tell me about going back to Goodie Mob, new album, working with them, right?
Yeah, well, it's like this. I knew what they were going to misunderstand, you know, because I knew what I couldn't explain. You know, I couldn't have said, look, it's going to take me about 10 years to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm going to do 2 solo albums. They're not going to work well commercially, but they're going to be critically acclaimed. I'm going to meet this dude, Danger Mouse. We're going to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I couldn't predict it. You know what I'm saying? But I refused to go back with my tail between my legs, you know. And so, however long it would have taken, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I would have.
So you had to be successful solo before you could go back to working with Goodie Mob.
Well, yeah, I had to be successful as a person too. So yeah, I did need to become a success, you know, before I could. And so now I get a chance to bring that back home, you know, and share it.
You're gonna do more with Danger Mouse?
Yeah, we'll do another Gnarls Barkley record. Hopefully nothing, you know, traumatic has to happen in order to get back in the mood to do it. But I haven't exposed everything there is, you know, about me yet, so I probably can pull from something else that you don't know and pull off another Gnarls Barkley record.
You knew Andre 3000 and Big Boi in high school.
I met Big in the 11th grade, but I go all the way back to elementary school with Dre.
Right, and when you're both developing as musicians, you helped each other. You're talking and working together, and talk about the musical relationship there between you and Andre and Big Boi, and how you both help lift each other.
Dre was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like around that time, I remember we were very influenced by DOS Effects, you know what I'm saying? And Tribe and Jungle Brothers. And
De La Soul.
De La, yes, all-time favorites.
I wonder why you didn't end up in Outkast.
Probably would have been too much, you know what I'm saying? I think Dre and Big gave each other the perfect balance, you know?
Yin-yang.
Yeah, they definitely had the yin-yang going on, so. And Goodie Mob needed me.
Why is it that Atlanta is creating so many great, soulful hip-hop artists?
We were the last to kind of come into our own, and so therefore we had all of that ample time to be influenced by East, West, and Midwest. And Atlanta is just one of those towns. They greet you with that Southern hospitality, and everybody's welcome. And so therefore that means the way that music is interpreted is unbiased.
But how did Atlanta shape you into who you are?
Truthfully, I couldn't be stopped anyway. Let's get this straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am forever and always a G, and I want that to be known all throughout the land, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I do what I want, you know, but it's all about love, and it's all about, you know, maximizing your own potential, mastering yourself.
Tell me about your new Fuse show, Lay It Down.
It's myself interviewing other artists.
You're talking to them and also performing with them?
Yeah, I think it really does showcase the fact that I'm a fan, and I'm very well read in terms of music, you know. It's fun, and I think that the variety of artists who will eventually come on the show will represent, you know, my diverse listening taste.
Cool, cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.